Sounded like a bomb, didn't it? It's not. All right, we're back for another week of Big Brother recap with Kev, my cousin.
Guys, awesome week 3 there. Ton of stuff going on. A whole lot to get to. We're really excited to do this show because we got a lot to talk about, Nick.
We have a ton.
You can find me here, by the way, at Kev Soup, talking Big Brother.
Hey, but before we launch into this week, can we talk about the interview that we did with Jace?
Ooh, yeah.
It was pretty good. Okay, that guy's actually really smart and like really ambitious.
And he wears clothes. The guy had clothes on the whole interview. And then the show, he was streaking all over the place and calling it Rado. He knows it's Colorado, guys.
He does.
He's in on the joke. He's in on the joke. I thought he was funny, engaging.
He was. CBS definitely cut him as Surfer Bro for life. And he definitely has Surfer Bro-esque-ness to him, but he's not 100% that dude. He's actually someone you would want to hang out with outside of
yes.
Big Brother house.
If you've not seen the interview, check it out.
Click right here. This is a link to the interview.
Right here. He was great. I thought.
And he's actually in London right now.
I know.
Yeah, no waves in London.
His life's incredible. I wish I got voted off week 1 of the house.
Or week 2. Come on, man. Come on.
Week 2. That's right. Yeah.
Gosh.
Week 1 or week 2. If I can go to London, I would do it regardless. Vote me out of the house. You know what? You vote me off this show right now.
All right. And a vote of 1-1. Tiebreaker. Nick Uhas. HOH.
Want to let me guys see it?
All right. See you later.
I'll stay for this one.
Another news
I have a
before
feeling
we
you're not paying for my flight. So.
You would be. In other news, Wikipedia hit 20,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for everyone who's subscribing and watching. We appreciate it. And if you want to check out the other channel, click right here. This is Wikipedia, the second channel where we do everything vlogging and Big Brother and all that kind of fun stuff. All right, let's just launch right into it.
Let's do it, yeah.
So, Devon was evicted.
Bye-bye, Mama Day.
So, Davon is day gone.
Look at you. Did you come up with that by yourself? That's pretty good
pretty
there.
Good, yeah. And a vote of 6-2.
Right there,
they knew that it was, she knew that it was going. You can always kind of tell when they're sitting in the chair, like they look really nervous. They kind of have like the face prepared for a good speech on the way out. But she was
do those speeches
classy.
Ever work? Like, I feel like it's such a waste of time. It's the time now, like these days, it's the time that they promote their social media.
I was just going to say that. Yes, that's exactly what it's for.
And they point at everybody they hate, and they tell them why they hate them. Like, I don't remember the last time a speech worked in the house, and she didn't really try to rally the troops. No. I was surprised. She didn't do a lot to try to stay in that house, I feel like.
She really didn't, actually.
She counted on the power of the last laugh, really. That was the only thing
right.
she really tried to stay in the house.
And, okay, just throwing this out there.
This is our show. We can throw out whatever we want.
Whatever we still like. Yeah. Even this pen. So, conspiracy theory... I won't throw your pen out.
It's only what I got.
So, her favorite number is 7, right? And then it's the 7th phone call, although Clay also wanted it. I mean,
I don't know.
Area 51, Alien, CBS, like... Maybe, I don't know. Because it seems as if it just was too coincidental and like too perfect. However, I do know the way production works, and they won't stage it for you. They won't make it happen, but they will do things like this. Hey, Kev, what's your favorite number?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think, I liked 3 back in the day, but I don't know. But no, it's 3. I'm not a huge fan of 3. 6 is pretty good, though. No. 7. My football number was 7.
Really?
7?
Was it? Tell us more about that. Yeah. More about the 7. 7 is a great number. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. See you later.
Okay. All right. Peace.
I see. Yeah. No, that's sneaky. That's sneaky, CBS. And that was our concern.
Yeah.
About the BB takeover. About CBS having too big of a hand and too big of an influence in what's going on.
And they will always do that. It makes for great television, although the viewers are smart. You guys are smart. Like, you see this, you understand it. And so maybe they just need to, up their game and tap people's phones or something.
Yeah. Well, it's not even like she really used it. Like, she, maybe she could have made up something with the power of the last laugh. Maybe she could have said there was some other power. She had to make a choice that she could either use the power of the last laugh or create something like that she was going to have the opportunity to hit the Big Brother rewind, or she could have tried to lie and scheme and do Big Brother-y kind of things to stay in the house, but she just didn't really tell anybody that she had it, and she chose 3. I was sure she'd choose Clay,
right?
Because you knew that's a vote against you.
And didn't choose Clay.
I don't know, and then so she ends up going 6-3, and it was Audrey and Jason, the 2 votes.
I know.
Keep her for her to stay in the house.
I thought one strategy move that would have been really good is if she told everybody that the last laugh is actually that she's coming back in 7 weeks.
Oh.
Because then people would be like, maybe we shouldn't vote her out, because then she'd be super mad at us.
I totally agree. Like, she had to come up with something to give them incentive to keep her in the house versus I'm not going to let 3 of you vote. Well, then it's like, all right, well, we're just going to get the other 3 to vote you out. You know, there was no incentive to keep her in the house.
Right.
So she gone.
Yep.
They gone.
They gone.
They gone.
They gone.
And then we played Gronk Pong.
Yes.
Which we had Rob Gronkowski, tight end for the New England Patriots. Now, Nick, here's the interesting thing I think about Gronk Pong.
Divulge.
Divulge. It seems like they're going to try to use a celebrity to create the whole BB takeover. And then the very first competition, they mold in their image. You know, Kathy Griffith, they had this Hollywood.
Super nice set. And it was like flashy and like, you know, she's a stand-up comedian. Like, it made sense.
Yeah.
And then
stand-up comedian, super nice set, Hollywood. Gronk Pong for Rob Gronkowski. Like, what is the Gronk brand and image? What is CBS's opinion of Rob Gronkowski that we're going to play Gronk Pong?
Some lawyer somewhere is already making these phone calls. You know, it's already happening. But aside from that, don't you think it was a really cool looking comp? Like,
oh yeah, I do. Here's a question for you. Now, it seemed to me that a lot of people did pretty poorly in Gronk Pong.
Horrible.
I don't know if they had to take some Gronk swigs
they
or
definitely had a couple of shots
or what.
Of Gronk.
But I was going to ask you, do they let you practice those comps? Don't they?
Do.
Before?
Yes.
So how do people do that bad? Like how much time do you have to practice those comps?
They usually give you, well, it depends actually. So on some of the overnight comps, when they sort of like surprise you at like 3 in the morning, which sometimes they definitely are surprises, they give you all night long to prepare for it. Rachel Riley did this with the bowling competition, you remember, a long time ago?
Yep.
But yeah, it didn't seem like people were very good at it.
They were terrible.
Yeah. I would say this, though. If that competition actually exists as like a fun playhouse like thing to go do, like, you know, like putt-putt golf, and that existed outside the house here in LA, I would totally go there every Friday night. That looked awesome.
Hey, you know what? We got to have a tweet up or something like that to go play some Gronk Pong, you know, in some abandoned warehouse or something like that. So we played Gronk Pong, and then we had Austin and Vanessa, who won the Gronk Pong. They were the 2 heads of household. And
Vanessa crushed Austin, by the way. Like, the number was like so much higher. Yeah. Destroyed him.
Her Gronk Pong game is on point.
On fleek.
It is on point.
So then they nominate, and so they're doing some scheming. And in the beginning, it appears like Austin is just kind of catching up on the game. It's like, maybe he's been vacationing, or like he got like really sidetracked with like hanging out with Jason. I don't know what happened. But so Vanessa's like bringing him up to speed, like what is actually happening. And they decide that they're going to do something very interesting this week, and they're planning on putting up these 2 people. They're going to put up Meg and James, and then Meg and Jason, and James and John. And so the way that kind of pans out is that Austin kind of takes the heat for putting up Meg and Jason, and he kind of plays damage control a little bit, because he didn't really want to put them up either. So the plan is now to backdoor Jeff. And somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, but how did this like whole thing come about? I mean, is CBS like
okay? So
not showing us something?
I'm glad you brought this up, because this is something I want to talk about. I feel like there's so much happening in Big Brother this year that they're not showing the audience. You know, we've got all these alliances that are happening. We've got Davon and Jason, who were the best of friends, and it seems like all of a sudden they were just the best of friends. Yeah. We've got these alliances. We've got the Sixth Sense alliance that's forming. Where did this come from? CBS is not showing. I don't know if it's bad editing, if they had to cut staff, and all the scheming's happening from like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. so no one wants to go back and log the tape. But don't you think that
I would agree with that.
The editing is not great this season, and there's a lot of things where it's almost like a movie where it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't know Jason and Davon were great friends, but it's strange. I feel like there's a lot CBS is not showing us. Even this whole Sixth Sense alliance, like that one kind of came together a little bit, but then there's just storylines throughout this season in the first 3 weeks that just kind of pop up all of a sudden.
Just kind of missing. Yeah. And so, really quickly, so Meg and Jason win the BOB, and Austin is dethroned, but the plan stays the same, that they're going to go ahead and backdoor Jeff. And good old John sticks with it.
Poor guy.
He decides that he is going to throw the comp again.
Man, I'll take it. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. He's again the pawn. We'll have to see if this plan to get rid of Jeff ends up happening. But why don't we go into some of our segments here, Nick? What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right.
I love them.
All right, it's time for our first segment here of the day, our best and worst, where we go over some of the best game moves here of Week 3 and some of the worst game moves of Week 3. For me, My best move of Game 3, I'm going to give a nod to Shelly right here, and Shelly's HOH. It seems like typically to me on the show, a lot of times the first couple weeks, whoever's ever in power just kind of does what the house wants to do. The house is like, we kind of want this person to go.
Right.
They don't really want to ruffle feathers. They just kind of execute the house's plan. The house's plan was to get rid of Audrey.
Right.
And it was basically Clay and Shelly that targeted their own biggest threat and got rid of Davon. And it seems like there's no real backlash against them for this. So it seems like that the whole HOH worked out really well for Shelly. She got her biggest threat out of the house. And no one's really mad at her for kind of flipping the script and not voting out Shelly, or not voting out Davon. So I would give a nod for the best game move, I think, to Shelly here.
I would agree with that, because at this stage in the game, the last thing you want to do is create super alliances, because trust me, they don't work. Yeah, so I'd agree with you.
You didn't go to London after you got...
I didn't. No. I went to Los Angeles, and then I stayed there. Yeah,
yeah.
At least it's warm.
Yeah.
So another best, I'm going to go with Liz telling the house about her twin secret. And it's kind of like, it was sort of a choice. I mean, people were onto her, but the way that it transpired, I think, is why this is a best move, because she had a couple options here. She could have, panicked and freaked out and gone around and told every individual person and been really honest about it, which is always the worst move ever.
Why are you people so honest on the show? Don't be honest on Big Brother.
Yeah, you don't want to do that this early on in the game. So she really kind of got close with Vanessa, and it really helped her out because now she kind of got sucked into this alliance. And so by keeping tight-lipped and by sort of gauging trust in someone who's playing the game well, Vanessa, she totally won a giant pot of BB gold tokens. It's like as if you were going to the casino, and it's like you pulled the lever, and it's like...
She got paid off by that as well, because all of it's about numbers, right? It's about, all right, how many numbers do we have? How many numbers do they have? And she's very smart about selling herself as, hey, we're 2 people now. You know, if you have us, you've got 2 of us. If you keep us in the game long enough, you'll have an extra alliance member. It's all about numbers. She had a chance to tell Davon. She chose not to tell Davon about it. She was very strategic. I would also agree. That's a solid game move.
2 for 1.
Week 3.
2 for.
Let's go with some worse.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
John, I love you, buddy. All right. I love Nick's impression of you. I'm going to go see Star Wars this year, and I'm going to think of you now after Nick's John Yoda impression.
John, if you will go watch Star Wars with me, I will be the happiest man in the world. Midnight screening.
Wow, you're pushing the envelope now with a midnight screening, too.
Oh, yeah.
But listen, here, I'm going to go with the worst move for John. And I know that this, to me, I see this as kind of a short-term strategy for John. He's surviving week to week, which I get it. You have to do that in the game. But the problem is I feel like people are going to start to figure it out of, we can just lean on John. We can just tell John, go up on the block, throw this competition, and he'll do it. At some point, you do need to have a little bit of a backbone in this show, and I'm worried that the more John continues to be the pawn, continues to throw competitions, the more people are going to see him that. Because on this show, everybody kind of fits people into boxes. Like, oh, this is a physical threat. This is the Ian character. He's just going to be the guy that we can kind of have do our bidding, that we can kind of move around until it's time to let him go, time to discard him. So I'm going to go with worst move, him throwing the competition. John, stand up for yourself.
I think that's one of the best moves, though. I'm going to 100% disagree with you on this, because at this stage in the game, after being in the house and knowing how crazy people are, and they're just paranoid beyond belief, him just going with the flow and sort of just being on everyone's good side, he's collecting those big brother token coins that Liz won. In fact, he's stealing them out of her purse, and she doesn't even know. So I give kudos to John for... Yes, he's playing it right, because he's staying under the radar, and he's really kind of ebb and flowing and just going with the tide.
I'm just worried that he's going to be one of those guys where he's going to be number 6 on a 6-person alliance. He's going to be number 5 on a 5-person alliance, because he's the guy that gets pushed to the exterior. Being
number 6 and 5 is much better than being on the stool next to Julie.
Okay,
so it just, one way or another. Worst move. Jeff not knowing that there is 2 HOHs every week, and the other one goes to Austin for, basically just being told by Vanessa that, yes, there was a whole conspiracy theory about a twin. In fact, the person that we're talking about is the girl that you're trying to have a showmance with. So, that was pretty incredible.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And
so.
even, even if that doesn't get back to Liz, when she watches the feed that, he was so interested in you that he didn't know he was with your twin.
Right.
That's not going to go over very well. So this is going to be a very temporary romance for Austin if this does happen.
Staring deeply into your eyes, or are those your eyes? Or
twins' eyes? Whose eyes are those?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you have really beautiful
eyes.
eyes.
How many of you are there? Are there 2, 3, 4?
Interesting.
If I strike out with you, is there another? So we'll have to see.
You're in luck.
Yeah. Maybe there's a triplet. I don't know.
The
Big BB takeover.
Twistiness.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So those were our best and worst gameplays here at Week 3. So things ebb and flow from week to week. We are going to do our Big Brother stock tips. Now,
ding, ding, ding,
some players are on the way up.
bell.
We do need a bell right there. Hold on, that bell was a lot bigger than the other bell. Your first bell was like this. And
We need a gong, actually.
Gong. Hit the gong, because it's our BB stock tips here. Some players are on the way up, Nick. Some players are on the way down. We treat these players right now, they're people. We love them, but we're treating them like stocks. Who are you going to buy? Who are you going to sell? Who's playing well? Who's not playing well?
So this week, if you have any of this stock, you need to sell, 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 sell. And that is Jeff.
Ooh.
He is going down like a submarine diving for the bottom of the ocean. He is... I mean, there's really nothing to it. I mean, everyone's on board to backdoor him. He has not displayed a very adequate understanding of the game. I don't want to give one of these analogies again because I feel like I always tank on these things as much as Jeff is tanking in the game right now. But it's basically like buying futures. I'm gonna go ahead and try it anyways. You ready?
I love how every time on this bit you always try to
get
a really bad stock that people shouldn't buy. So I'm curious to find out which stock it's going to be this time.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try it.
Warm up for it.
Okay.
You gotta get into it right here.
Here we go. Okay.
This is why I show up every week. This is my favorite part of the show.
Oh, okay. I got it. All right. Bear with me here. This is like buying.
That's your alliance pose.
That's right there. This is like buying $14,000 in stocks of Wheat Bix right before the gluten-free craze hits.
Wow.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, I thought about that.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
We're also giving legitimate stock tips to people out there, too. So, if you're a financial person and you don't watch Big Brother, this is still the show. This is the segment for you. So, sell your Jeff stock. Jeff, you're on Big Brother. You're not on Amazing Race anymore. It's time to start playing the game if he has a chance. It looks like he might not have a chance. And I got a feeling he's not going to London like Jace.
No.
All right. Here's a stock to buy out there. Take some money, go to the ATM, buy some stock in Liz. Liz has really stepped her game, but we talked earlier about how she was very strategic about telling the right people about her alliance. It really looks like she's in on that 6 Sense alliance, which really looks to be the only power alliance in the game right now, and it's a good number. There have been some bad 5-person alliances on the show.
There has.
But there's also been some really good 5 or 6-person alliances if they can control the power. She seems like she's got in on this. If you're out there looking for stock, buy some Liz stock. Absolutely.
Plus, it's not just Liz stock you're getting. Actually, when you buy Liz stock, you get a freebie Julia. So it's like, that's great. So it's a 2-for-1 no matter which way you look at it. Because
good salesman right there. That was pretty good.
Yeah. No matter which way you look at it, you're getting double then for your price. Which is apparently how
old prospector type of...
All salesmen now talk like this, apparently.
Yeah.
Don't you know that...
So many great voices on the we got Yoda, we got all sorts of stuff. I love it. Yeah. I got to practice some voices just to be able to be on par. These are not our real voices, too, by the way.
Yeah, we're actually ADR in this right now.
Yeah, we're both putting these on.
My real voice is like this. I don't know why that's
a good one.
That would be my real voice. But anyways, that's what you want to buy and sell. Liz is definitely going up. Jeff, definitely tanking.
Sell. It is time for our Lawyer Up segment. Now, in the house, contestants have a chance to pitch why they should stay to their fellow house guests and why they should not vote them out of the house. People have been terrible at this recently.
Horrible.
So, Nick, I think it's our job to defend either James or Jeff and get them to stay this week because it's time to lawyer up.
My attorney, my client, more lawyer speak. Got my briefcase over here.
Yeah, both of us have briefcases, jury, just to make. We're both very professional.
Legitimate lawyer.
And it is time for our opening statements. Nick, first, who would you like to defend?
Today I'll be defending Jeff from Florida. Which will make sense here in a little bit.
Opening statements. Here we go.
So, Jeff is from Florida. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Florida has nice weather almost 3/4 of the year. If you were, let's say, in Ohio, and it's the dead of winter, you could go to Florida and you could go swimming. Now, is that a place that you would like to go? I believe it is. So, your honor, would you want to evict someone who lives in such a beautiful place, such as Florida? Because that's all I got on Jeff.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client's from South Carolina.
Oh. Huh.
James, don't send him back there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not a ton in South Carolina for him to do. He's a simple man. He's a man that likes to hunt. He's a man that likes to fish. He's not a man that likes to scheme. He's not a man that likes to lie to your face. He's a very trustworthy man. You look at Jeff over there, wherever he is, all right? He's not even playing the game. He's a physical threat. He's a lot more threatening than my client, James. My client, James, is a simple man. Any man that wears a camo visor, no, not a hat, a visor. Any man that wears a camo visor 24/7 is not a threat to you. Do not vote James out of the game.
Objection! Your Honor, was James, or was not James, do this every week, I don't know why I can't, is or is not James?
Yeah, you got the jury's head spinning over here. I think you're going to win this.
What house guest, of all house guests, was named the only one not actually, quote-unquote, liked by Vanessa? It was James.
That's a pretty good mic drop moment. I'm not sure I have a ton to defend my client other than saying anybody who likes muddin', he's a cool guy. He's not a threat to you. He's a chill guy. He's a relaxed guy. Jeff has been on The Amazing Race before, all right? Jeff has had his chance to be in the spotlight. My client with the camo visor from South Carolina, this is his one opportunity. He's a retail associate, people. Give him a chance, all right? Give him a chance to be a star and keep him in this house.
In my closing statement, I will say as such. Jeff, he may not know the game very well. He may not even know that there's 2 HOHs every week. That is totally fine. Because down deep in his heart, he loves Florida. And you should love Florida too. Therefore, Jeff cannot go home. Thank you.
It's pretty good. Florida's great. I'm gonna stick with your state thing. South Carolina. I don't know where I'm going with this. Keep James in the game. Keep James in the game. Don't vote to evict James. Vote to evict Jeff. Thank you very much. Court adjourned or something like that. Get out of our courtroom. Well, that's all you're up. Enjoy.
All right. This is I feel like it's what's happening is I've been watching John so much.
Yeah, John's voice is taking over right now.
Internalizing it all.
Nick's voice as we knew it is no more.
Gone.
He is now talking like John.
So this segment is called Turbo Round. I will say a word, and you have to say the word or the phrase that first comes to your mind. And I have 3 words, and you'll have 3 words as well.
Yes,
okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my first word. Here we go. Gronk.
Beer pong. I mean, I still love it. And we talked about it earlier. I can't believe CBS is like, how do we capture the Rob Gronkowski image? What the beer pong? That's what I think of when I think of Rob Gronkowski.
Okay, number 2. Hair gel.
Hair gel. I don't know why I'm thinking of Vanessa. Does that even make sense? She
wears like a hat all the time.
Yeah,
see, I was certain that you were going to say John needs it. That's what I thought. That's where this was going to go.
But I don't. It's one of these things like what is it? The Rorschach test or whatever, where you hold an ink block up. I feel like that's what this is. Like I say Vanessa. I don't even know why I said Vanessa with the hair gel.
Maybe because you're just thinking like she's going to take the game, man. I mean she's doing well.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. The number 7.
Oh wow. I mean, Davon. Poor Davon. May her gameplay rest in peace.
Yes, she did not have 7 lives.
Everybody loves 7. Although I feel like 7's a fairly common favorite number for people. Don't you think so?
Yes, that's why I like. That's my favorite number
Clay's
too.
the only one on the planet that wears 7's his favorite number.
Yeah.
All right, I've got 3 for you. Your first is shirtless.
Jace. Even though he's out of the house. Well, here's the thing. Like the reason. Okay, if you Google Big Brother 17. The first thing that shows up is like all the like little thumbnails and whatnot is Jace as a shirtless pic. And I must say, that guy must work out a lot.
Your next word is bromance.
Oh man, Austin. Because I think Austin and Jace had the best bromance leading up to Jace's eviction.
It was like the Notebook of bromances.
It really was. And as we learned last week, Jace apparently like he really wanted to actually push this like for them to cut it into the show, and it worked. I mean, he got a ton of airtime early on, and that's the kind of bromance like that out of the show. Like I want to call those dudes and hang up and like bro out on the couch and just be like bro, yeah, bro.
The neighbors are keep that broing down up there.
Exactly.
Right, I've got one more for you, and this one's pretty random. I mean, it has to do with Big Brother, but it's pretty random.
Yeah.
Rubber ducky.
Oh, pool. Immediately. I think everyone's mind would go there. But this last episode was really kind of funny because they use it as a transition for like really weird things. So it's like when CBS is like, oh man, nothing really happened this week. Like, what did we cut to the duck? Like, and they just like go to it and you're like, yeah, that's right. And then they kind of like move on with the storyline and like other stuff. You're like, it's just like a mind warp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it works.
All right.
Ducky, man, it's been around forever.
It has been. Do they have one ducky? Do they have it in the pool? They have one ducky in the pool.
They actually have one duck. There's
probably should call it a duck, right? Ducky sounds weird by itself. Rubber ducky needs to be said together. You can't just say ducky, right? That's weird. I think it probably is.
Oh yeah, but
okay, well, I knew it was. So you didn't have to. I knew it was weird when I said it.
It is, but they do replace them, and at the end of the season, they do give away the rubber ducky, like to somebody. They gift it.
The ducky.
Yeah, the ducky. Not the rubber. Well, whatever. The ducky.
Yeah. Turbo round. There we go.
Round. Thank you so much for watching. We do a new video every week. Kev, where can we find you?
At KevSoup on Twitter. Check out my website, kevsoup.com. We'll be right back here next week. I'm pumped. See if Jeff stays or goes.
But this week we're doing something a little special. So from one of the tweets that I was reading, someone saw me wear my Big Brother Game On shirt. And so we decided that we were going to turn this into a competition. And so whoever comes up with the best caption for this photo, which you will write in the comment section below, Kevin and I will be the judge of the best caption. You will win either the red or the blue Game On t-shirt. We will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
If you like this video, click here to subscribe. New videos every week.